Welcome to another AACC town hall. This is our first iteration of the town halls. So, yes, we had a few technical difficulties today. Sorry about that, but I can see there's a lot of people here with us today. So, that's really great. So, thank you for spending your time and coming and joining us today. So, with that, so welcome again, and so let's see what we have today. So first
Before
of
you
all,
start, sorry, Malik,
yes,
I think your camera is like completely blurred. We can see the screen, but we can't see you, by the way. Anyway,
can't see me.
that's okay. We can see the screen.
Let's look at the screen for
Mhm.
now. Sorry about that. All sorts of technical difficulties today, I guess. So yes. So why does the AACC exist? It's well. When we started AACC off, this, like, here's a story we tell all the time, which is when when a lot of people got together in Nairobi. At one point, we had this. It started off as a simple conversation about representation, about our voices being heard, how our problems are solved, who knows, who understands these problems in our regions. This is how AACC started off as. It's just a simple conversation with a bunch of strangers. That's where AACC starts. And this conversation then just keeps happening. We all individually, we start seeing problems in our own ecosystem that we love so much. We start seeing small problems happening. And then we all keep asking the question, hey, if we had a small organization for us to get together, discuss our problems, discuss how we can solve these issues together, then we would have a bigger voice. That was the beginning of AACC. And from there, we then decided to start make things a little bit more serious. And then as a group, we got together and we decided to meet every week and then start discussing things that are happening in our regions. And we have been doing this for a while, and almost coming up on like half a year now. And one thing I would like to say is, like, through these discussions, through talking to all the people that are involved in this organization, something that I have noticed is there's a lot of passion. There's a huge amount of passion in our group. People who really care about the blockchain, the world, and in problems that are there in our own unique situations. And these are people who really want to make a change. And and I can see that in all areas right now. Like, whether you are a software developer, you might be somebody who's really good at talking to people, you might be a business person, you might be an educator. All sorts of people are trying their best to make the world a better place. And that gives me a lot of hope. Makes me really happy to know that there are people like this working and trying to make things a lot better for all of us. So, and and I think this, it's very interesting that this is happening in Cardano. Like, most of us, whenever I talk to most of you guys who are in Cardano, the reason why most of us came to Cardano, the reason why most of us decided to be on this chain, was because this is one of the only few chains that did something in a different way, that was built properly, that was built to empower people. Like, right now, we have on-chain governance. This is something not a lot of other chains have achieved. I don't think any other chain has achieved what we have achieved. They have not been able to pass a constitution like the way we did. Like, when we passed the constitution, yeah, most of the people here who are sitting in our ACC meetings, these were the voices that made this document happen, and it is on chain. And that constitution is what guides Cardano right now. And Cardano is one of the only major blockchains right now that could be changed and that is governed by its own users. And to me, that is the promise of the blockchain that drove me towards blockchain in the beginning when I started things. And to see that happening and to work with the people that is making this happen, it's a wonderful privilege. So to get back to why AACC exists, AACC exists to make sure that African region and the Asia region, these two regions, the voices in these two regions are amplified. The voices in these regions are taken around the world through, like, to make the network a little bit bigger, to make our voices more heard even better. That is our goal. So each and every single one who's present today, thank you for your continued support, and thank you for doing what you guys are doing in this ecosystem. So the next question somebody would ask is, yeah, why do I want to get involved with AACC? So one of the main reasons why we think you should be involved is, as the slide here says, personal growth is one of the things. Like, you could build connections, you could build leadership qualities, you could become a better person, and like I said, you will be able to work with people who really care about solving important questions in our ecosystems and in our own communities. So to be able to work with people like this, you will not just get inspired, you will learn a lot from these people. And I can personally tell you, some of the people in AACC, like, I learn a lot from them every single time I interact with them. They really care and they really work and they want to make the world a better place. And of course, community impact as well. What you do will have an impact. Just to give you a simple example, in Cardano, once we pass the constitution and once we have on-chain governance going on, like I said, the community is now in charge. If you look at how what Intersect was when it first started and what it is doing right now, you can easily see things have changed a lot due to the voices from the community. The community was able to steer the ship in a direction that they want. Maybe it's not perfect, maybe there are problems, maybe there are things to complain about, but no system is perfect, right? So, but at the end of the day, if we can move something more and more towards a better goal, it's a win in my definition. And then obviously global influence as well. Like I said, we are representing Asian and African voices here, and then we want to take your voice and amplify it. That's pretty much one of the biggest things we want to do with the ACC. And so if you get involved, you can make all these benefits will be yours. And yeah, of course, you can attend these town halls, like it's mentioned. And please join our Telegram channel. I have done one mistake here. I should have put a QR code here so you guys can join. If someone could paste invitation link to our public Telegram channel, that would be a big help. And so, who's behind AACC? So these are your local voices. These are the people you need to talk to if you need to, like, if you want to get involved in AACC. These are the people you need to talk to. I know you see a few countries here. Maybe your country is not here. So then your question, like the obvious question is going to be, okay, if my country is not here, how do I get involved? Like, the easiest thing to do would be to get in touch with any one of us. It doesn't have to be that, the person in here doesn't have to be your neighbor. It could be anybody. Like, because like I said, all these people are people who want to make the world a better place. These are people who are always willing to work with others and connect with others. So you want to contact any one of them and you ask them how you can get in touch with AACC, they will guide you and they will get your voice directed to the right places. So here we have Randy, Bernard, Nathan, Ha, Darlington, Seidu, Mubarak, Taichi, myself, Boaz, Laurentine, Maureen, and Sri Charan. There's three more people that I have not mentioned here who are in our advisory council: Kavinda Karyapiruma, Mercy, and Sierra from Japan. So I'll get to the ecosystem highlights, and before that, I think I should invite today's guest speaker. So I think Charan was going to do a presentation today for us. I think I would like to invite Charan over to to present.
Yeah, one of the thing what I wanted to showcase is like the India hackathon, which is happening. You guys can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess in the beginning of the call I already mentioned, but I'll just go through it again. So through a treasury withdrawal action, Emergo, Cardano Foundation, and few other entities have taken responsibility to host events worldwide, and Thon is part of that whole withdrawal action where they're hosting Cardano Hackathon Asia. It's for the first time they're hosting. It's happening in parallel to India Blockchain Week. India Blockchain Week is the biggest Web3 crypto event in India, where we see around like few years there were even 10,000 people attending it. Last year it was some 5,000 people attending it. So it's happening in parallel to them. And till now, in the last 3-4 years, we rarely had any presence at that event, except like few people from India, 3 or 5 people attending from India, including me, and we talking with everyone who's attending there. It was not like we were trying to contribute, but it was not that impactful. Uh, but this time, I think hosting this huge hackathon, and even Emergo has a booth, Cardano booth inside India Blockchain Week. So this time we assume we will showcase our presence even better, and we'll be attracting a lot of talent, because in the hackathon it has a $65,000 pool overall, and this pool is divided between 3 tracks. One is general Cardano track, one is AI Masumi track, and one is privacy midnight track. Midnight track recently joined, so happy they are also getting involved in this hackathon. And I'll share the link in the Zoom call, so later you guys can check it out also. It's like the registrations are open, and we have partnered with a company called Hack to Skill, which have hosted huge hackathons even for Google main hackathons also. So we are expecting around 2,000 more registrations participating from our side. From Newcast side also, we are contributing for this. And this is something which we are really looking forward for, activity which is happening inside India. There's one more event which is planned in parallel to it. It's called Real World Impact India. I guess it also will be happening around that time, showcasing the real world applications which are being used in India. So for the hackathon, the registration is open, and it's open till 16th of November. Um, yeah, it is an in-person hackathon, but the workshops, if anyone is interested in Asia, Africa region, I guess you guys can attend the workshops online as well to learn more if you guys are interested. But yeah, it's a in-person hackathon, and for few people, they're even sponsoring travel as well. So this is something uh, I'm very much excited about for the upcoming stuff. Besides Cardano Summit and the Midnight Summit, but yeah, that's happening in like 20 days. It's not in India, but very exciting stuff. And a small update from our side, like Newcast, I'm the founder of a company called Newcast, where we focus on IP related technology products. And we recently rebranded our whole application and website, and the whole vision of it. Like the vision is now more, we are focused on AI data marketplace kind of a direction where we are focusing on. and New Auth is the application. Here you can see what all applications we have built so far. Newcast Media is the decentralized ownership platform. New Auth is the authentication and data exchange application. We have built live streaming through which few boxing matches, some comedy shows were live streamed. We have done film festivals, music video festivals. It's a recurring thing every year, and we have 81 artists onboarded onto this from worldwide. Newcast Ticketing is an NFT-based ticketing platform which was used by Rarivo and Cardano Summit side events as well, like five in 23, 24 countries. And subscriptions, we're still working on it. It's like a smart wallet where you can deposit money and you can instruct it, kind of a thing. So you can instruct like pay it monthly to some company, or you can instruct it you pay some salary on 15th of every month to this wallet. So it's like a smart wallet where you can give it instructions, and we're using it for subscriptions. Newcast AI is around media as well, so you can interact and talk with the media which you own, like a book. If you have a 2000 years old book, or like a really cool author who you like who's dead now, you can interact with the author as well. And we have done a couple of open source also, like random number generator, on-chain random number generator, gasless transactions. So someone else sponsors, like the dApp can sponsor and the user need not even own ADA, but can interact. Like if he just has USDM, and he can do DeFi and everything without having ADA, because the ADA can be sponsored by the dApp as well. These are our open source stuff we have built, our partners. Yeah, I think I spoke a lot. And yep, rebranding is the other thing which I wanted to mention. Thank you. Thank you
Cool,
for
Sharon.
the spot, Malik. And yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Sharon.
Yeah.
I mean, hackathons, like, they are some of the best things that can happen to an ecosystem, because it has this really very interesting characteristic about it, where you discover people who you never thought existed in the ecosystem. Even like
Yes.
when we did our hackathon, that was something that was very surprising for us. We were like, wait, there are developers who can do these things already. Okay, wow, okay. So not just it expands your, like, view of this whole ecosystem, it just, I don't know, the moment you do a hackathon, all of a sudden the ecosystem, like, has like really good developers and really good talent that comes out of nowhere. I don't know if it's magic or I'm sure that's the same experience you guys have had as well, right?
Yes. And like it's a really good onboarding tool as well, right? Like once the people get to know the technology, it intrigues them, and from there we are so decentralized. This whole governance structure. If they get into one more layer into the rabbit hole, now they're fully onboarded. Like so, it's like a super powerful tool, like you mentioned, man.
100%. And like, a lot of people think hackathons are about the size of the prize money or something like that. It's not that. It's just that people get to do an interest, to get to work on an interesting topic, and then there's a, additional point of getting another reward, obviously. But it's the whole thing is this question interesting thing to work on, and people just come. And I'm a developer myself, so I really like working with people who love solving problems. So I guess that's the reason maybe why I like hackathons so much, because it attracts people who love to solve problems. And Cardano definitely needs these people. So, and I'm really happy to know you guys are doing this thing as well. Maybe we might put our hands, give it a maybe we might give it a try, like,
That
hopefully.
would be that would be super cool. That would be super cool. Yes.
Hopefully we should, like, we'll definitely try and promote this thing also in our channels as well. And I invite all the members who are present here today also to try and promote these sort of events, because I'm sure this is open globally. This is not just for Asia only, or is it open for anybody from anywhere?
Like the workshops and all are open anybody from anywhere, but when they hack, it is a in-person hackathon. That's how they're
It's an
doing it.
in-person hackathon, so at
Yes,
least
yes,
someone has to be there, and on that day they need to make it happen. So if you
yes.
can get a ticket and come to India, then it's considered like in-person. Yes. so, so technically global, but
Yes, technically
attendance
global.
local. Understood. Thank you again, Sharon, and again, and congratulations on the rebranding and rebrandings. Like we have done rebrandings for other companies, so we know how hard it is, how hard rebranding is, and and the new logo looks really interesting,
Oh.
and it looks really good. It looks extremely good, and so congratulations on pulling that off. So with
Thank you
that,
so much.
yes, definitely. And
Yeah.
let me see. So uh, there's a lot of events that happened in Asia recently, and some really big events happened in the last few weeks. So I think Kavin has a lot to tell us about what's been happening in the last few weeks. He's been attending some of these events and talking about AACC to certain people as well. So Kavin, the floor is yours.
All right. So, month of October, like what Malik said, has been pretty interesting, especially for the Asian region as well. There was a lot of global blockchain events taking place in Asia, and I think it was also in Singapore and then Japan and then also in South Korea as well. I think a lot of the Cardano community took part in it as well, and even in Vietnam. So all of those things have been happening in during this month, and I was lucky enough to meet most of the Cardano community people from Singapore and also in Japan, in Osaka and Tokyo as well. And I met Charan in Singapore briefly for like one day. But yeah, so before I go into the details, I think let's take a minute to remember our friend Max Van Rossum. I think a lot of the people who have been in the ecosystem, as well as people in AACC, we met him in person and we've hung out with him in person. This was a picture that we took in Nairobi last year. And as you can see, I think there's Mubarak in there, Randy's there, myself, and although I think even uh, Darlington's there. So I think Charan's not in the picture, but he was also there that time as well. So it he was a really good friend, but unfortunately he passed away in Japan, and it kind of hit me personally pretty hard too, because during the governance workshop that we had in Osaka, he was actually sitting next to me, so he was my partner for the governance workshop in Osaka. So it was pretty strange to think that this would happen during that trip. So everything else during all of these events was good, except this was the only thing that was pretty upsetting. So, but I would like to take a moment to remember him and on his legacy. So I think let's take a minute of silence during this call to honor his memory. And if anybody would like to say anything about him, we'll be opening up the floor for that as well. So let's take 1 minute silence during this call and remember our friend, and I will continue with the presentation after. Thank you, everyone. So, I mean, The good thing about Max is every time you speak about him, you'll smile because he'll always make you smile. And everybody who has met him in person, you'll remember that. And also, the last memory that we had was when we were at Project Catalyst event, and before that we were at karaoke, which is I think there's a video of him also in Twitter that Nate posted. He was dressed up as Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, and he actually made everybody smile, and that's a memory that will actually go down with everybody to remember him by. So Max was a great person, and I think his vision of making sure the decentralized ethos and the fact that Cardano gets to people who really needs it actually matters. So in order to honor him, I think the best thing we can do is to carry that vision forward. So thank you, Max, and hope to see you again. So moving on with that, just to give you a little bit of an update about what's been happening in Sri Lanka, we had the Cardano 2030 vision that we had a workshop for that. Almost took half a day for that. We initially thought it would take a couple of hours, but it took a lot longer than we expected because there was a lot of areas to cover. But this was quite important because this is where we would want Cardano to be in 2030, and we need to make sure that we have that vision forward to exactly figure out what the community needs and what's going to be happening in the next couple of years. So I think this workshop, also the one that we had in Sri Lanka, and we also had a few around the world too. And there was one in Osaka and Tokyo and Singapore, and also I think Barcelona alongside the Naluna event that was held by the Clay Nation. So there are a lot of vision workshops that went into it. I think there should be a small video clip. I will just play that out. So this happened at the start of the month. Let me just get that opened up. This was some of the highlights from that event. So we actually evaluated a lot of these areas of focus of where Cardano needs to be in 2030. And there was a lot of good feedback that came in from the local community here in Sri Lanka as well as some really good feedback even in Japan from the local communities of what they want Cardano to be. And something that was very interesting for me to hear in Japan was the kind of the ethos that we have in AACC here. There was a lot of community members who asked us, is Cardano fulfilling the ethos that it was founded on? And also the fact that how are we contributing towards the the deserving people who have not been getting the benefits of these technologies, and how can they be empowered to get access to this. So this actually came from the Japanese community, which is really great, and spoke specifically about the African community as well. If this technology has been reaching the areas that it needs to, and what can we do in order for us to get it there. So even in the Cardano 2030 vision, this was an area of focus that even came up during the Japanese community meetups, as well as the vision review workshops as well. So that was a good point to point out. Having said that, like I said, we had an event in Singapore, which is Token 2049, and which is quite nice in that sense to see Cardano's unified marketing model coming into play, where we actually had a dedicated booth for Cardano, and we also had a booth for Midnight and IO as well. So another good thing about it was the lanyard that everyone has been wearing to enter token 2049 was actually branded by IO. So a lot of the people did come into the IO booth as well, and Cardano booth was right next to it. So a lot of the people were coming into the booth and getting to know about Cardano. And most of these people weren't people who were in the ecosystem. So it was a good opportunity for us to showcase the ecosystem to people outside of our own ecosystem. So that, as well as we had another booth for midnight as well. So a lot of the people were talking about what's going on. And strangely enough, a lot of the people that I spoke to personally as well, they didn't know that there was so much going on in Cardano right now, because people who are outside of the ecosystem might not probably know exactly what's going on. So they're pretty impressed about things that was happening. And interesting enough, we had a snack presence there too. So we had a snack vending machine and hydro vending machine, and there was a lot of activations going on. So this was a really good opportunity for the ecosystem as well. And I spoke to a few people about AACC as well, and they were quite interested to know what's been going on in these two regions. Next up in Japan, we had Tech for Impact Summit, and so Sierra is currently on a little bit of a break, I think, end of this week. So after Tech for Impact, I actually couldn't meet him also because this is a lot to take in, and I think he's been taking a little bit of time off as well. But I got a bit of time to hang out even with Tai Chi as well. Also at Tech for Impact, as well as the blockchain expo that was also held in Japan. So this was pretty good. We had a lot of booths from the Cardano ecosystem at the event. So us representing Sri Lanka, we also had a booth for Coinsalon. We launched a product called Cargo Trust, which is the first one that is basically making HBLs digital. So this product was actually launched at the event, and was doing a small demo to Charles himself. And yeah, so this was a really good opportunity for us to engage with other companies that are also building on Cardano, as well as the Japanese community, Japanese tech community, some whom also in Web3 and some whom's not actually on Web3, but they're in traditional finance or traditional sectors of IT, but they would like to collaborate with companies. So I think a lot of these Cardano companies did, the builders and the companies who are building on Cardano did get an opportunity to engage with the Japanese community in Asia. So this was a great opportunity. The product that we launched, let me just show a small demo of exactly what this product is. And yeah, give me a minute. Let me just get that out. So
global trade runs on trust, but paper-based bills of lading are slow, error-prone, and open to fraud. Cargo Trust makes HBLs digital, secure, and verifiable, powered by Cardano. Upload instantly, transfer securely, verify on blockchain. Phase 1 rollout is now live. Digital HBLs for shippers and buyers. Fast, paper-free, and trusted. Cargo Trust. Fast, secure, verifiable. Built on Cardano.
So yeah, so if you guys have some time, go check out Cargo Trust. It's live right now, and this is basically for the shipping industry. And so if you're an individual shipper or a shipping company, you can actually use this service as well. So this was an industry that Cardano had not gone into yet. So it's a good opportunity for people to try and see how we go into new industries with the Cardano technology. So do check that out, and we will be doing a little bit more marketing onto it in the coming weeks. So do keep an eye out for that. And so that's what's been happening in, oh yeah, and a little bit more updates from Japan. We had the Blockchain Expo where we had the Cardano booth there for the Asian Japanese community, and the workshop we had in Osaka about the governance, and also the community meetups that's been happening in Japan. So I'm covering both countries, Sri Lanka and Japan, because I've been in Japan for the past month. So that's why I'm just giving everybody an update of what's been happening in both countries these past couple of weeks, the past 3 weeks to be exact. So yeah, I think with that, that's quite a lengthy rundown. So I will hand it back to Malik. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Kavin. That was really interesting, and something I want to mention is like, yeah, Max definitely will be missed in this ecosystem, and something that is very, I think personally, that I find something very interesting about all of this is everything that he did while he was alive, the things he contributed. These things will go on to live for a very, very, very long time because he contributed to a blockchain. And in this ecosystem, his impact, I think these impacts will be there for generations to come. And Max was somebody who was there at the convention when we did the signing of our uh, what is this, the document, what's this, what's the document, I
Constitution.
forget the name. The Constitution, there you go, the Constitution document. And his name will forever be there attached to that. And yeah, it's extremely sad that we lost someone that good, and hopefully he will not be forgotten. So, and on another note, as for the vision workshop, when it came to the Sri Lanka vision workshop, something interesting that I saw was, I mean, I attended the vision workshop through a video call just like this because it was, I couldn't, obviously, I'm not in Sri Lanka at the moment. So, and something interesting that I found was how passionate people got even when it was very technical questions. Like, even when these were very technical, how do we do this? Like, whenever we came to a point where we were like, there were so many opinions on one topic. And it was such a wonderful thing for me to see that these are things that I had never thought about. Some of the questions that came up, some of the arguments that came up, these were things that you would not think of on a day-to-day basis. But then other people, they have such a really nice, how to say, a viewpoint of things. And I think this is the greatest strength that we have as Cardano. The fact that we enable so many voices to come together and to define something. Yes, there will be some traction, there will be some friction that there is whenever these things are happening, but I'm 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 extremely optimistic about where we are going as an ecosystem. And I think all the effort every single one of us is putting, just like Max, the effort that he put in, I hope the work that we put in will also have an impact, and it will also be there forever. So again, it's extremely sad to see someone that good go. So I won't make things sad anymore. So with that, I noticed somebody interesting in the participants. I mean, she's somebody really, somebody who's made a really good name for herself within our ecosystem in the past few months. And I heard, I mean, I know she's gonna hate me for doing this because she's not prepared for this. I know that. So, Maureen, if you can, maybe would you be able to talk a few words to us about Discover Cardano's presence in Dubai? I heard you guys had some stuff happening in Dubai. If you don't hate me, would you be able to give us a small update on what happened?
Hi guys. Hi Malik.
Hi.
Yeah, I hate you. I want to kill you. But I'm happy to be here, and it looks like a lot has been happening everywhere. So that is interesting. Yeah, so yeah, we went to GITEX, which is like one of the biggest tech events in the world. It was massive, and we spoke to all kinds of people from various parts of the world. It was really interesting to me how the program was coordinated, right? So there was no it was just booths. So you go to the program and all you see is booths, and you go talk to them or they come talk to you. At first I asked Dave, when are they going to start the program? And he said, this is the program. It started. So I loved how everything was informal but also formal. So people came to our booth, and you know what I realized is you have to log out of Twitter. You do. Because outside of Twitter, nobody hates Cardano, except for a few people who came a little bit harsh and said your liquidity and all of that. But they don't hate us. It's the truth. Liquidity is down. Things are not going really great. But other than that, people want to listen to us. And it made me realize how much being on the internet and seeing things from that perspective can make you think a certain way, whereas it's not like that in the real world. So what I'm going to say as an action item is everyone should log off Twitter, go talk to people. And also there is a workshop that we held in Cameroon. It was, I know Malik, you didn't mention that, but just want to talk about that a little bit. I see
Yes,
Kavinda
please.
help that in Sri Lanka as well. That was we held our own workshop here, and just getting input from people who have never heard about Cardano, what they think, even though it was, and we had a plan. We rented a hall for 3 hours. Guess what? We ended up having it for over 6 hours. It was insane. We left there at midnight, just talking and talking. It was the best workshop I had ever organized, and I was so happy that we could gather such impactful input. And I would encourage everyone here who hasn't run a workshop yet to do so and gather some feedback and present to the product committee, because this is what's going to happen in the next years. And if you don't say anything, by the time it gets here, we are going to be stuck. Your community is not going to be represented. So thank you guys so much for keeping this going. I know I haven't been around for a while, but it's just timing, it's morning for me usually, and it's hard to be there, but I am here now and I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Maureen. And definitely, we understand the time zone differences. All of us live in so many different time zones, so it's perfectly understandable. And just to make up, you made an extremely really good point. Yeah, sometimes, like, you spend time on Twitter and then you think the whole world is Twitter. No, Twitter is just this tiny little echo chamber that does that has nothing to do with reality. Reality is so much more bright, beautiful, and amazing. So definitely, like, that's something that I really love about, like, these Cardano events, in-person events, where you get to actually meet these builders, the people who care about things. They are a million times better than any Twitter troll any day. So yeah, usually, like, that's the way it is. So I'm really happy that you had a wonderful time there. And I did not know that you guys had what you call a workshop back home. That's interesting. So again, thank you so much for letting us know, and thank you for, again, sorry for throwing you under the bus. And thank you very much, Maureen. So I think I have a few slides I'll get through as fast as I can, because I think we are closing in on time. So let me give a quick update on some of the Cardano ecosystem highlights that are happening right now. In Intersect board elections, you guys know, wrapped up earlier last month. before last month, and Kavinda and Mercy, two of our advisors, were selected alongside with Adam and Rand. So congratulations to everybody, and personally, I'm extremely happy that Kavin and Mercy, two people from AACC, are now on the board. So our voices now, there's more representation for us, and it makes me extremely happy to know, like I said again, this is something like real world versus social media sort of thing, right? So in the real world, you can see easily there's good representation in Cardano. Like two people from these two regions are sitting at the intersect board, at the intersect board. So I don't know what people are saying about Cardano not representing others. Like Cardano does. Yeah, there are problems. Of course, there are problems in every system, but I think Cardano does a really good job compared to most other systems that are there. And so, give me a moment. And yeah, and so intersect. Oh yeah, and also something you will notice if you go to the elections right now happening on Intersect, you will notice Intersect executive director poll is going on right now. It is mixed up among the committee elections. So I think there's 2 more days remaining where we can, there's 23 candidates. You have 10 votes you can use. Of course, you don't have to use all 10 votes, but you can suggest who you think should be considered for the what you call executive director position on Intersect. So you only have 2 more days. If you haven't voted, please, if you guys are Intersect members, log into your Intersect memberships and please check it out, because there is an important role that will decide the future of Cardano and the wider ecosystem. So your input is really needed. So make sure you sign up and do this. So like I said, again, 36 seats up for grabs. Cardano Product Committee, Steering Committee, Growth and Marketing, Budget Committee, Civics, Technical Steering Committee. I'm getting a message saying my screen is stuck on the council member slide.
Yes.
Why is this happening?
Okay, now it worked. Okay.
Now you can see.
And now before you closed it, it switched just before you closed it.
Okay, let me try one more time. If it doesn't work, I want you guys to imagine. Can you see it now?
Yeah, we can see the Cardano ecosystems highlights slide.
Highlights. If I do this, can you still see? You see the? Do you see it now?
Nope, it's still stuck there.
Oops. This is okay, right?
That's
okay. I'll just keep it like this. I'm sorry. So more technical issues. And so we had 36 seats up for grabs, and we have the product committee, steering committee, growth committee, and the budget committee, and of course civics, technical, open source, and of course the membership and community committee. So all these committees, there are seats available. I saw some of our members are also applying and running for boards right now. So please take this chance to vote for people who you think will represent you at Intersect. And no matter how many criticisms are coming towards Intersect, you go on Twitter, all you see is criticisms of Intersect. But in my honest opinion, I think Intersect has done a really good job in the last year, and they have steered Cardano in a direction where the community needs Cardano to be. Again, it's not perfect, but it's a system that is something we are working out, something as a community we are trying to figure out how to make things move. It's a beast. So obviously on day one, we are not going to figure out how to make it work extremely well, right? So I think it's extremely important that we pay attention to these things. And if you want your voice to be heard, you need to take part in these things. You need to go vote. You need to run for elections. You need to make your voice be heard. So congratulations to everybody who's applying and running for committee seats, and hopefully you guys will win and be able to represent us better. And I think this thing we spoke about, Cardano Summit coming up, the main event happening in Berlin, and satellite events happening in Brazil, India, United States, and Kenya. And so I'm not going to read most of the stuff in here. So I think we don't have time for any Q&A today, because we have gone over budget by 2 minutes today. So with that in mind, again, why am I blurred up? Can you see me? No, I'm still blurry. Okay, okay. So the blurry person is talking to you. So again, thank you so much, everybody, for spending your time with us and joining us today and joining this call today. And we appreciate your support. We appreciate all the hard work you put in. To the council members, thank you so much for the ones who attend the meetings every single day, every single time, and giving your opinions, making your voices be heard. Thank you so much. And Laurentine is our vice chair. She's always there. Like every meeting, I have seen her coming up to our events. And Seidu is also one of the people who always comes to our meetings and makes things happen. Oh, I can see Seidu's hand is up. Yes, please, Seidu.
Yeah, Malik, thank you for that quick and brief presentation, and to Sharon and Maureen as well as Gavin for this today's town hall. That's the end of the October for us. So I just want to mention my community for making time to participate in this month's town hall. Immediate is here, and then the others. Probably, as we may mention, the WADA is organizing the Cardano Summit hackathon. Couple of that we'll be having here in Ghana. So if you have registered, try and keep the logins so that you participate and share your views and ideas, so that we'll see how best we make it in Kenya next year in February. So watch out for these hackathons. They are very, very interactive. I think the second call is coming tomorrow, Thursday, at the Water Forum. Join. You can also join the Catalyst African Town Hall every Friday for this interactive session on this the hackathon for the summit. So this is just a brief of I just want to share. I also want to wish our brothers who are going for the committees in the Interset all the best. It is indeed a role that they have taken for themselves. For all of us, some of us don't have the time to do that. Indeed, I've never tried to contest for Interset, not for anything, but just because of time and other roles I'm playing. This time around, I think 3 people reached out to me to contest. I said, looking at what I've been occupying and I've been handling, it will be more appropriate if I go and then I've been given the chance and then I don't perform or I don't make time for Interset. So let us just support those who have expressed this interest to lead us in Interset. And then let's see what happens coming next month and go, right?
Thank you very much, Seidu. Yes, if you can share some of the details on the Telegram group about the hackathon that is happening, I think people would love to know more about it. Again, thank you so much. And one more thing, one last thing, like Kavinda said, and like Seidu said, all the best to the people who are running for committee elections. And I really, my fingers crossed, I really hope you guys get selected and you guys get to represent us. And so again, thank you everybody for attending today. Thank you our speakers for putting yourselves there and helping us with this event. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. And until next time, see you all. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.